Hello everyone, today's topic is expressivity. Expressivity. It is an ability of a gene to express itself uniformly in all the individuals of the same genotype. Nothing but, even though all individuals are the same, but their expression levels different or person to person have a variation in them. Nothing but due to the slow phenomena called as a expressivity. Okay, the genes may have uniform or variable expressions. Okay, expressivity is nothing can be defined. It can be defined as a ability to express in an individual. Okay, so expressivity. So these are nothing but they have a various types of expressivity. First one, we'll be just going through the uniform expressivity. Uniform expressivity. The name itself specifies you that a gene expresses itself in all the individuals in which it is present without any changes or the demarcation in them. Okay, and in a Mendel's experiment, as we have seen, all the factors have a uniform expressivity. That's the reason why we are able to get the all characteristics of a parents, all equal expression in a group. Example, Mendel's. Okay, and the next one is nothing but a variable expressivity. So variable expressivity, this is where all the humans and the individuals change apart. Whereas in the variable expressivity, the genes does not have a similar expression in the genes or may be influenced by a variety of characteristic features and also depends on the individual which possess them. Okay. So in the definition part, you can just write it down: the genes which do not have a similar expression in all the individuals possessing them and have a variable expressivity. The expression of these genes may be influenced by the environment or by a genetic makeup. Variable expressivity, unequal, remember, and it is affected by both environment and also the person or the individual. Okay. Variable expressivity is being affected by a presence of a complement. Sorry for that. Yeah, variability is being affected by a variety of presence of other genes, such as presence of a complementary genes and the other one is nothing but a supplementary or a modifier genes. Okay, so these are the two genes which affects the presence of a condition or the individual supplementary or the complementary genes. Okay, followed by nothing but the expression will be carried out or will be doing with the certain examples right now. Okay, example number one. Yeah, so here we will be taking an example of a chlorophyll deficiency of lima beans. Okay, so what is a lima beans are nothing but these were the beans which we are able to see in the Mendel's experiment or the pea plant alternative cousins. Okay, and the scientific name of these lima beans are nothing but Fasculenta Fascula lunatis. Okay, nothing but this express a variable expressivity in addition to the incomplete penetrance. As we have earlier studied that incomplete penetrance is nothing but impartial or incomplete transfer of a genes or expression of a genes. So in this case you'll be able to see that the genes or whenever the genes have been affected, in this case we'll be able to see that in some seedlings incomplete cotyledonary leaves or without the presence of chlorophyll will be able to be getting observed. Okay, and followed by that, well, not only with the incomplete leaves and also the chlorophyll, in some cases the only leaf tops are being contained with the chlorophyll rather than the complete cotyledon, while in others the complete margin of the leaf does not even have a chlorophyll in that. Okay, this is one of the example for this, whereas the second example you can take a human itself. Okay, in the second example we will be taking a man for a polydactyly, nothing but a high number of your fingers or complete extra number of fingers, what you have seen with the Hrithik Roshan or some other celebrities where they'll be having a excess number of fingers in their hands. Okay, we'll just take a example of the polydactyly. Okay, polydactyly is nothing but a extra fingers present on a person, hands or the legs. Okay, hands or legs. Here we'll be able to see that whereas polydactyly have a variable expressivity and incomplete penetrance. As we'll be just seeing it, I'll just give you a small tree diagram for that. Okay, so nothing but we have said that it is having a variable expressivity along with the incomplete penetrance. So this polydactyly is due to the presence of a P gene, nothing but a dominant gene. The normal conditions will be having a 5 digits or the 5 fingers in their hands, but whereas a person with the abnormal P or presence of a specific gene so called capital P will be affected. In this case, the person having a capital P and a small p will be having a extra finger. Okay, that means this is in a heterozygous condition. This is in a heterozygous condition, and the person generally does not appear with the nothing but they does not appear with the immediate effect. That means they become a carriers. Okay, and whenever these genes will be involved in a dominant form, nothing but when they undergo PP complete capital P and capital P. Yeah, capital P and capital P. That means they become a homozygous and can become a dominant one, can express. In this case, we'll be just seeing that the possibility, yeah, in this case we'll be just seeing a possibility how the positive or the how the finger extra finger is being carried on to the generations. Okay, in this case we have just said that in a heterozygous condition it may or may not be, not may not be, okay, possibly carried or causes a extra finger formation onto the individual. But I'll just give you a small example or the tree diagram in which you'll be able to see that how they have been carried on for the generations. Okay, first one we'll be just seeing a homo or hetero, sorry, affected male. Okay, first one, in the first generation will be having a mother who will be represented with the circle and a father represented with the square. Okay, whenever they have been affected we'll be able to see that always women will be the carriers, followed by that if they have a children, nothing but possibility of both female and a male. We'll be just taking an example of the female. Okay, so this is a female where they have been got into the first generation. When these females have been for women married to the normal male, they'll be resulting in a wide variety of possibilities. In the first case, we'll be seeing a possibility of male and female or completely devoid of having any sort of a carrying formation. On the first case, we'll be seeing it a male and female will be not having any sort of a carrier behavior or looks for the first case. Okay, and this possibility here, this male can be a carrier, as if you remember we have studied that always male X chromosomes come from the mother. The possibility of these getting or grandchildren getting these kind of a possibility is very rare. In this case we'll be seeing it here, we'll be representing the rhombus as a unknown sex. Okay, it may be a male or a female. Okay, this is the one which is being affected. Okay, second one we'll be just seeing it where male is been married to the other female where the person will be completely unaffected. Okay, and the next case a female will be acting as a carrier again along with the other male. Okay, in this case we are directly able to see that, as we have said, it is an incomplete penetrance and incomplete expressivity. We'll be able to see the partial expression of these effects or chromosomes onto the further generations. Okay, in this case we will be able to see that in the fourth generation the possibility of getting a male is highly affected, but whereas the females always act as a carriers most of the time, and very rarely the males will be the one which acts as a carriers, as we have seen in this example, whereas a polydactyly. Okay, okay, yeah, in this case a female will be affected which is being carried on for the further generations with a normal male, married to a normal male, resulting a normal male followed by a affected male, and which is nothing but a normal female, sorry, this one is affected, right? Yeah, and this one is a normal male and a affected female. And the next one and the last one is nothing but a affected females. Okay, Yeah. In this case, we will be able to see that all the affected females might not even give the polydactyly for each and every condition, but rather they might have an individual effect or time taking effect which might be affected in a further generations, not immediately, but in a further generations. Remember that. Yeah. Normal and affected. Yeah. Yeah. As you are able to see here, all the generations here phenotypes having a extra finger will be represented with the crossed lines, and this shows that the inheritance is incompletely penetrant, and it is sometimes becomes a dominant trait in all the individuals depending on the from the which parent they get it. Okay, nothing but the reason for this, both mother and his child. In this case, we have seen three of his child. In the third generation, we have seen a three of his child have been affected. Nothing but our polydactylis indicates the transmission of these genes are nothing but with the help of a mutation through 3 2 molecule, nothing but a chromosome 3 at the location 2. Okay, this represents an incomplete penetrance, and it is a serious pedigree serious problem with the pedigree analysis, and it can lead to the incorrectment or incorrect assignments of the affected genes of the genotypes. Nothing but a improper tracking of a genes from the back of these environment. Our next topic is gene penetrance. So, what is gene penetrance? Okay, gene penetrance is nothing but the expression of a genes by themselves to produce a phenotypic characteristics or to show us a phenotypic behaviors. We call it as a gene penetrance. Okay, generally these have been nothing but a physiological characters have been characterized by a structural gene. Gene penetrance is nothing but a expression of genes by themselves. Okay, expression of genes by themselves. Okay, we'll just go through it. Nothing but these structural genes act individually on a person. Okay, and they have an ability to express the genes itself that is carrying, or sorry, that is individually carried out. Okay, if you remember, we have said that there are two types of chromosome structures, nothing but a sex chromosomes, and the other one is a, what was the other type of chromosomes we have started? Sex chromosomes and the, yeah, sex chromosomes are autosomes. Okay, sex chromosomes which determine the sex. Okay, gender determination, we can say it as directly, and other one is a allosomes followed by a autosomes, all considered to be your, all considered to be under a specific term. We call it as a, what was the term we have said earlier? Remember that these are the terms which are important. Okay, don't forget them. We call them under your autosomes. Nothing but structural. These are the structural genes or the chromosomes which are essential for the complete activity of a basic cells or basic activity of the cells. You can also call them as a necessary genes. Autosomes are the most important genes, okay, whereas sex chromosomes, also called as the allosomes or the heterosomes, remember that. Okay, autosomes we can say it as a necessary or the basic genes for the expression of or the basic activity of a cell functioning, remember that. Okay, so what happens once the allosomes autosomes have expression there individually will be followed by a factor. Whenever they are expressed individually we call them as a penetrance, or whenever these structural or allosomes will be expressed we call them as a penetrance. Penetrance when they have been expressed along with the other genes. Remember that if these are the basic genes, remember basic genes, along with this, if any genes when expressed we call it as a gene penetrance or penetrance simply. Okay, in the Mendel's experiments we see that there are different types of phenotypes which have been expressed, right? Okay, all the factors in the Mendel experiment we see individually are expressed. If you remember, we have seen with the examples of your tall plant and the dwarf plant. So here each and every individual are being expressed individually, isn't it? In this case, capital T and small t becomes a heterozygous. We'll be able to see that this is a heterozygous condition where capital T will be the dominant one. Okay, followed by next thing, as a capital T is a dominant one, we'll be able to see that all the trees or whatever the plants which have been produced as a result will be forming a dominant behavior. Okay, that we can call it as a penetrance. Okay, remember Mendel's experiments we can consider it to be your dominant or the penetrance. Okay, but in some cases we will be able to see that exceptionally we call it as a phenotypic ratio. In the phenotypic ratio we'll be able to see that the genes will be failed to produce a expected phenotypic ratio. Remember that phenotypic ratio. On the basis of these penetrants we categorize them under two categories. You have seen these two conditions, right? One was a dominant condition where the characteristics are being secured, but whereas coming to the phenotype the characteristics are being lost. So based on these we categorize them under two groups or two types of penetrance. As it was able to see that it was able to fail the phenotypic ratio balancing, we'll be seeing two types, nothing but a first one was a complete penetrance. Complete penetrance. Okay, in this case we'll be able to see that in complete penetrance the dominant gene will be expressing itself all over the organism, as we have seen with the Mendel's one, capital T and small t. The capital T will be making itself comfortable, creating all the expression. Okay, and the recessive genes will be associated with all the organisms, only will be expressed in a homozygous. Only small t will be expressed in a homozygous. This shows that capital T is a complete penetrance or a complete dominant gene. Okay, example we will be just seeing with the pea plant what we have just said. Apart from the tall and height, we'll be able to see that in pea plant we'll be able to see with the red and white flowers, where red and white flowers you'll be able to see that red and white flowers, this one will be tall and white will be a dwarf, seed color. In this case, one of the seed color will be, for the dwarf we'll be able to see that the seed color and the shape will be exhibited in the complete penetrance. Seed color and shape. Okay, you can just draw a diagram for this, or just write it down, the small example for this. For the complete penetrance, write down the small example. Okay, capital R, capital T. Okay, and seed color will be mostly dominant. That's where the ratios will. What was the different seed colors we have said? Yellow or green. We'll take a green as a dominant one. Okay, and the shape will be round, will be the dominant one. Sorry, round, capital R. Okay, this one will be a dominant one, D. Okay, for the rest A will be taking it as a small w, small t, yellow, and small r. Okay, and the first F1 generation will be resulting with a capital R, small r, sorry, capital R, 1 minute. Yeah, capital R and W, followed by a capital T, small t, capital G, small y, capital R, small r. Okay, here you will be able to see that here capital R, W will be representing the color of the flower. This is the height. Okay, and this one would be a color of the seed, and this one will be your shape of the seed. Okay. So if you are able to see that how many genes are there here, 1 2 3 4 genes, right? So what was the number of possibilities which you can get from the all the 4 genes? Remember, for the 2 genes we have got the possibility of 4. For the 4 genes we have got the possibility of 16, and for the 2 genes we have got the possibility of 16. For the 3 and the 4 genes we will be getting a possibility of more than 16, 32 or 64. Okay, you have it, try it out and just ask me the doubts if you have anything regarding these possibilities. Okay, just check them out once. Okay, coming back to the point. Yeah, so in this case we'll be seeing a incomplete or a complete penetrance with the help of a capital R and capital T, but whereas the color will be provided partially and the shape will be mostly a dominant one. In this case we will be able to see that the ratio, what were the ratios for the phenotype and the genotype we have discussed. Mendel's ratio for the phenotype we have discussed that 9:3:3:1, right? So apart from this, and what was the genotype ratio? We have a 1:2:2:2, so on. So in this case we will be able to see that none of these will be valid whenever you are going for a complete penetrance, but rather you will be able to see that some of the ratios have been not balanced, due to which we will be coming to the next one, nothing but a incomplete penetrance. Okay, incomplete penetrance. So incomplete penetrance will be nothing but some of the genes, whether it's in a homozygous condition or in a heterozygous condition, fail to produce a phenotypic, or you can say that whenever there is a negative kind of condition, fail to produce a negative phenotypic conditions, expression or conditions, and they result in a incomplete expression of the genes, resulting in a abnormal phenotypic characteristics of the individual. Okay, Nothing but in this case we'll be taking an example where an individual cannot express the complete phenotypic characteristic, which does not allow or result in a presence of a particular expression or a particular phenotypic character in the gene. Okay. Yeah, coming back to the topic example, we have said if a man or polydactyly. Okay, we have said that nothing but extra finger condition. If this kind of polydactyly is being contained or getting it combined with other issues or a genetic formation such as the blue sclerot, nothing but a blue color bone defect or a brittle bone formation. Sclerotic, nothing but a brittle bone formation. Okay, brittle bone defect, nothing but they causes the person. And if we have said an example, if a polydactyly contains blue sclerotic followed by the other thing, and diabetes type 2, all exhibit, sorry, all exhibit the incomplete penetrance. So what happens whenever all of these have been producing incomplete penetrance, we'll be able to see that in this kind of a such condition, what happens is that the possibility of a gene for a blue sclerotic has about 90% of example. We have taken an example, right? So blue sclerotic has around 90% of penetrance, and similarly nothing but 90% having percent. Okay, followed by the next thing. Okay, so what happens, the possibility of the other the possibility of other genes will be reduced. Nothing but for a polydactyly, it will be reduced by 70%. And same case happens whenever we are taking an example number 2, nothing but a lima beans. Okay, nothing but deficiency in cotyledon and leaves. So deficiency in one of the cotyledon, and cotyledon, nothing but partial chlorophyll, will lead to the condition. Okay, partial chlorophyll will lead to the 10% reduced penetrance in the leaves. Nothing but if the cotyledon is being affected highly with the partial chlorophyll, then the leaves containing with the more amount of your chlorophyll, increasing amount of your chlorophyll in the leaf, and reduced levels in the cotyledon. So for a gene to be expressed, it requires other factors where it can be present throughout the condition. That means here we are able to see that effect on a specific part or a area will cause the other conditions to be reduced. Okay, in this case we have seen with the cotyledon which has been affected with the partial chlorophyll, nothing but a very least amount of chlorophyll for the development, which causes the issue for the leaves, where leaves can have a higher amount of chlorophyll in them. Okay, leaves will be affected less affected than the cotyledon or the seed. Okay, this is because whenever the seed is being affected or the genes which have been involved, they have an ability or conditions will be constrained, resulting whenever the sprouts or the seeds will be developing, the leaves does not allow or follow all the same things which are present. As the cell divides, the possibility of this expression of these genes or the cotyledon genes will be reduced when it comes to the leaves. Okay, that's the reason why 10% penetrance will be observed in the leaves, not around 70 or 80%. Rather, it will be a reduced to a 10% of your penetrance will be observed. Okay, and the next topic we'll be starting with the X-linked inheritance.